It's crazy to say that because at Keep It Simple, we also have 2,000 applicants that want to be virtual assistants from the Philippines. We train them, we outsource them, and we get them rolling. And we're actually internally teaching them how to use AI to replace themselves. We're going to be implementing it where they learn the AI, they train their AI how to train like them. So we're not trying to use it to replace them. We're just trying to make it more efficient and they don't have to do the busy work. Awesome, guys. So I know some people on the call, but what I'd like for you to do in kind of the standard format of how we're going to do this going forward, as questions come up, the first 20 minutes of this call, or roughly 20 minutes, it might be a little bit less. Our goal every 2 weeks or bi-weekly is to present something kind of hot topic that we can go pretty deep into and then start asking questions from that perspective. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce the KISS OS team. Some of you already know, but they are on here to help answer questions that I can't answer, right? There's a reason why we have a team. So I'll introduce myself first. I'm Josh B., right? Josh Braden. I am the co-founder of Keep It Simple and help with also co-owner of Unstoppable 365, which is clients of Will and FitPro CEO, right? He's really helped us with some marketing. So we're just trying to give back to the community at large. Then we have Josh E over here. He is our Keep It Simple account manager. Some of you already know him, but he helps implement and help with it. He's also somebody that after this call, if you feel like you need a one-on-one conversation, whether it's about our stuff, your stuff, anything else floating around the world, we help with a lot of different content and a lot of different software. So we'll have some links up there that you can jump on a call with him, especially if the FitPro CEO team needs some help with the tech side of things. That's where we can help. And then we have Jeff over here. He is very silent, but he is a tech wizard and can make almost anything happen. So if we don't know the answer, he'll find the answer really quick as we go through the process. So today, what we're going to review, and this is a really big hot topic, and a lot of people are asking a lot of questions on it. So we thought this is going to be important to bring up, right? Today, what you're going to learn is what AI really is, how to choose the right tools, and exactly how to use AI to save time, scale faster, and deliver a world-class client experience. Just because there's so many AI tools out there, there's so many shiny objects, it's probably the most advanced thing that's going faster and faster and faster and creating that knowledge gap between people faster than any tech that I've ever seen on the 43 years I'm being on this earth, right? So we're going to start off with a super simple definition of what AI is, right? It's artificial intelligence, software that can learn patterns, automate tasks, and make decisions just like a human, but a million times faster, right? It is going to accelerate the efficiency of humans in general. Saw a seminar with a really prevalent tech guy, and he basically said that AI is improving 25 to 500% year over year. What that means is in the future, it could take a lot of jobs. It can accelerate faster and faster than anything in history. So we got to really keep an eye on it. And one big thing that could really stood out in my mind and why we want to have this conversation now is a lot of people think it's going to even the playing field, right? But a lot of people are using it to even the playing field, and they're using AI wrong. They're using it like Google, right? It's not Google. But it is going to accelerate or increase that gap of which people that are doing it well to the people that aren't using it properly. A couple of types of AI that you'll be seeing today that we're going to be talking about is chatbots, because that's a huge thing. Anybody having problems finding a really good setter or setters that stay around consistently and all the time, right? Tony's shaking his head yes. It always happens, right? They come and go. 1 minute you have a good one, next minute you don't have a good one. 1 minute you think they're good, next minute you don't, right? AI will quickly take that over, right? If used properly. So that's one thing we're going to talk about today to really dive into because it's a hot button, right? Then we're going to talk about kind of predictive tools to forecast client progress or needs. ahead of time. I know at Unstoppable 365, especially once it starts getting warm, we always have a lot of turnover in clients, right? Or clients that are complaining. But then when we look back, like, man, if we knew and could predict that they were going to fall off 90 days ago, we probably could have prevented this. So I'm going to show you some tools that we use and utilize, and then how to automate some automation assistance, right? So for onboarding, scheduling, follow-ups, that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you some things that we currently use at Unstoppable 365 that's being successful. We do about $180,000 to $200,000 a month in revenue, and a lot of our stuff is pretty automated, right? So we're going to talk about those things both in a live environment and in an experimental environment, because there are some things with AI, it's not quite ready to go in a real environment. So we're going to talk about those things. All right. So the first thing to think about, and this is, I'm in the WhatsApp group with all the coaches, and I think Josh E has more conversations with us all the time. There are so many models out there. There's so many software solutions out there for AI, right? So how do you choose the right AI tools and the right models for the goals that you're looking for? Because on social media, 1 minute VO3 is the best. The next minute Solara is the best. The next minute ChatGPT comes out with something and everybody says it's the best, 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 best. Usually they're just trying to get you to use their particular brand of it. And that's why they're doing it. So here's typically the key factors that you want to look at before you try to implement any type of AI into your business, right? So the first one is integrations, right? What software you're currently using, can it actually integrate with? Or are you just adding another software that you and your team have to use and try to figure out how to use? The next one, customizations, right? Can you train it? Can you tweak it? And can you provide it the brand and your process? Right? Everybody's a little bit different. All online fitness coaching usually ends up being about the same thing, but it's different flavors done different ways. So can you actually customize the AI to do what it needs to do? Is it user-friendly? There's some really cool AI stuff out there that Jeff is probably the only human knows how to do it between the three of us, right? So is it user-friendly? The last thing, and this is one big thing with FitPro CEO that I love, is does it support and have a community that can help roll with it, right? AI is teaching itself at this point, but how do the humans actually use it in the actual process that they have? Really good example of that. VO3, I've been messing around with it. And the only thing I've been creating is really silly Yeti videos. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those things, but they're really funny, right? But I don't have anybody to talk to about it, really, right? Hey, how are you using VO3 specifically for online fitness coaching to accelerate your business? So does it have support and community, right? A really good example of that, and again, we're going to go over this on today's call, is if you want to automate DMs, look for a bot that connects natively to Instagram and Facebook and lets you edit the script, right? Typically, fully automated systems that are already half-baked or ready to go, you still have to tweak them for you and your system. So we're going to start talking about some shifts in here, and then we'll get into the demo so I can show you some stuff on how we use it and tools that you could look out for, right? Real-world applications that will actually impact fitness coaching. And we're already seeing this a lot. Like we had 3 clients cancel at Unstoppable 365 this last week because they said they started using ChatGPT to write their workouts. I was like, well, shit, you're right. That it probably has a faster model to create your workouts, right? That's one big shift that I think a lot of people are doing, right? But the other shift of AI that will impact online fitness businesses, right, is it's going to 10x your efficiency and automate the busy work, focus on high value coaching. And it's crazy to say that because at Keep It Simple, we also have 2,000 applicants that want to be virtual assistants from the Philippines. We train them, we outsource them, and we get them rolling. And we're actually internally teaching them how to use AI to replace themselves. So a normal business typically have 10 virtual assistants. Well, now they only need 2 because they're using AI to create the busy work. So that's a big shift in the world today that everybody's looking to do, right? You're also going to see hyper personalization at scale, right? AI can tailor check-ins. They can check feedback. Some of the crazy stuff that we're about ready to roll out at Unstoppable 365 our coaches are actually terrified of, because the AI is going to be able to do their job and do it better. But we're going to be implementing it where they learn the AI, they train their AI how to train like them. So we're not trying to use it to replace them. We're just trying to make it more efficient, and they don't have to do the busy work. So that's another big thing, big shift that people are kind of turning to, right? Better client experience, faster responses, smoother onboarding, more accountability. It's crazy. We're implementing an AI that will check in, look at all of their trainerize data. They'll look at all their macros. They'll look at all their check-ins, their habits, everything. And on Monday, they'll say, great, based upon your coming week, you need to focus on these things. On Friday, it'll look at all that data and say, hey, based upon what you've done for the week, you can do this stuff on the weekends. And it's just automatic. And then they can ask questions. Or I know we get this a lot. They're at the gym and they're like, hey, my back hurts. And they message somebody. And then we get to it 30 minutes later. And they're like, well, I'm done working out now. I wish I would have had that. Well, the AI immediately responds to it based upon their history, what they've done, how the coach has done it, and reads the entire conversation prior to answering that question for that specific client. It's crazy what it can do, okay? The next part of this, you're going to see this, and this is part of the shift in why AI is important. You're going to start to notice you got to start using AI to stay competitive, right? People are going to start using it or changing your business model. Otherwise, it's just going to be a race to the bottom. And I don't know about you, but we don't want to be coaching for free, but we want to be able to adopt it. So coaches who adopt AI will stand out and grow a lot faster all the way around. So before we get into some real world applications and showing you around how things work, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, and or if there's anything specific for you, as we go through this, please drop them in the chat and kind of go from there. So the first thing I'm going to teach you or kind of show you around how to use it, because it's a huge software, right? So AI training inside of Go High Level, right? We have an agency called Keep It Simple CRM. So if you'll see some features and some things in here that I'm going to show you that isn't in a native Go High Level account. However, if you have one that is the AI, it'll be ready to rock and roll, right? Cool. So the first thing is, and this goes with any bot, right? So I'm inside of the Unstoppable 365 account. So I'm going to show you some how we're training the bots to get rolling. So inside of the CRM, right? The first thing is I'm a huge fan, coming back to the how to choose which AI to use, right? Go High Level has a fully integrated AI agency inside of it, both from receiving calls, text messages, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, all that other good stuff. So we focus on using this instead of a different software. However, I do want to stipulate most AI models are exactly the same. Most AI software, exactly the same. So if you can train one and understand how to use one, you can probably train and use a different one, right? So I'm just showing you this one because this is the one that we use in general, okay? Now, any bot that you pick for whatever communication model that you pick, right? First thing you want to do, and I just want to make sure because I've been a little funky on Zoom. Josh, Ian, Jeff, I'm showing the getting started bot training, right? Cool. Zoom's been doing a little funky thing on me here. So the first thing I'd recommend doing before you start creating in a real world example of using any type of AI to communicate with clients, communicate with prospects, whatever it might be, is take the time to think through, and just like most marketing, most FitPro CEO, own one social media channel first, then add another channel, then another channel, right? Too many people try to immediately implement an AI bot for text messaging, for DMs, for Facebook, for voice calls, for everything. And then they realize that they need to do a little bit more training. So once you determine that, the first thing you should do is create the knowledge base based upon your business, your brand, how things work. Okay. And I'm actually going to show you something that I recommend using to help create it, right? So what we did to create our booking bot and our knowledge base, let me go to the existing one. most knowledge bases, you have a couple of options to do, right? The first one is a web crawler. A web crawler, what that's going to do is you can input links into it that it's going to pull that data from, and it prioritizes that data based upon what's on there before it goes out to the trillions of data points that AI has access to. So this is super important. If you don't train it on your website, on your brand, on your specific stuff, what's going to happen is it might be talking about Unstoppable 365. It might be talking about V-Shred. It might just be making shit up, right? You just never know with AI until you train it. So the first thing we recommend is having it web crawl all of your information. Like we even have it web crawl policies and procedures, our contracts, everything, okay? The next thing, I don't want to get political or religious or anything like that, but we'll take a deadlift, right? For example, I'm going to guess that Tim and Alicia and Oliver and Tony, if you guys got into a room with 100 prospects and somebody said, teach me how to do a deadlift, and that's all they said, right? There might be 4 different versions of deadlift, okay? Every deadlift works well, is beneficial. However, it's your flavor of deadlift, okay? So make sure you update it here. Vice versa, right? You start talking about peptides. You start talking about supplements, stuff that you recommend. You can also train it from a web crawler perspective based upon things that you agree upon, right? So let's say you're working with a company to sell lab kits, right? You could have it web crawl that company's information. That way the bot can start answering questions about that particular thing on that. Let's say you agree with one peptide, some people say the peptide sloop, right? It's still in research phase, but people are selling it. Some people agree with it. Some people don't agree with it. Or GLP-1s, right? If you're like, hey, I don't agree with them, do it this way. If you agree with them, do it this way. But that's where the web crawler is, so you don't have to recreate it. The next way that you can create it, and this is part of the training, which I'm going to show you what it looks like. But if you've got frequently asked questions that a prospect, a client, whoever will ask you all the time, and you've got to answer it, you can go ahead and input those questions into the system. You can also start to review, answer them, respond back to them, that kind of thing. The one thing that the Go High Level Knowledge Base doesn't have right now, which is going to be awesome once it does, is it's going to have the ability to upload files. So if you have lead magnets, right? A lot of people have lead magnets that are PDFs. It'd be awesome to upload it so that way you can rock and roll with it. So this is kind of the boring part, but it's also the part that most people miss when they start using AI. They don't take the time to train what it needs to do. So once you got your knowledge base set up and you've started picking out your medium that you're going to go with, right? I'm just going to show you this booking bot that was created. And we turn it on and off depending on the ads, depending on how much we're rolling. As we scale up and have high volume, we turn it on. And then we have human takeover. But a couple of things that you can do here. So you can create from prompt-based bot or a guided form setup. Again, most platforms have something like this. I personally recommend, if you don't know exactly what you want it to do, I always recommend doing a guided form setup. And in this guided form setup, a lot of times there's a general Q&A and then an appointment booking. Almost every platform has both these options. We focus on the appointment booking bot. So I'm just going to go through that and kind of show you how it looks. The first thing you do is you set up the brand voice. You give it the data that it needs. This is just basic information just so it can answer those questions. And then you've got to really teach it, right? You got to dive into and understand your target market. What are the pain points? Brand promise, brand value. I'm a big fan of traction and understanding what your actual vision is so that when you're talking to somebody, it makes sense. An easy hack for this, right? There's a couple of ways that you can do this. One, we have you can use ChatGPT If you've taught it all about you, you've had it ask questions about your business, you can throw it in there and literally just copy and paste these questions and say, hey, how should I write this? Right. We also have let's see here. There's software out there that can walk you through those questions too. But here's our information that we're training the bot on, right? The next thing, you want to name the bot. This is more just for your purposes inside of the system to know who's doing what. You can make it primary because there are ways to create bots for different flavors, different bookings, different ways of thinking. So I just made our primary one. You can always edit this, but it defaults to every single one of them. So this is another thing to think about when picking an AI to use. In terms of integrations and communications, the Go High Level one already does Instagram, Facebook business accounts, SMS, the chat widget, live chat, and WhatsApp. I know a lot of people with Fit Pro SEO use WhatsApp, so it can automate those conversations. Then an initial greeting. I'm going to harp on this one a little bit. This is one that we try to test all the time. One thing that drives me personally nuts is if I reach out to customer service, make a phone call, and that initial greeting is terrible, I just kind of move on, right? I'm like, oh, that's a bot. I'm just not even going to talk to it. I just start screaming live person. So make sure that looks right. And before I make another bot, I'm going to just pull up ours. Go. Once you save that, it pulls up something like this, okay? Don't automatically assume everything you put in there is going to be perfect. So I wouldn't recommend turning it on. But a lot of times, there's two ways of doing this. There's a suggestive and there's autopilot. Suggestive is really good if you're not quite sold on using AI to communicate with your clients or prospects yet. The suggestive, what that will do is when somebody live, a human person, is going to respond back to a message, it will actually pop up the prompts that AI would have given. Right? So let's say you get a VA from the Philippines and you're trying to train them. You're going to use suggestive to give them an idea of what they should be responding back. And it also helps train it. Okay. You can also create behaviors. So we've got our setup that will respond every 2 seconds. You can make this less, you can make it more, but every 2 seconds, right? Send bot to sleep when I send a message manually or through a workflow. A lot of people will turn this on. That way it's a live takeover. That way you're not responding back as a human, and then all of a sudden it responds back before you respond back to it. Okay. You can always update the bot training, right? You can update the voice, the bot goals. You can even give it additional instructions. Okay. The one thing I didn't show you before is the bot goals, and I'm going to show you what ours kind of looks like here. So you can have it designed to ask the questions, right? You want to get their name, and you want to get their email, you want to get their phone number. It'll automatically update those fields. And then if you're like, man, I want to qualify this booking, we've got it set up to ask these 3 questions, get the answers to it before it ever sends out the booking or tries to book with them. And then you can set up what calendar to book it on. Okay. And there's a ton of other features here that you can turn on. I just have it email me if it doesn't know how to respond. I want to be notified so I can train it how to respond back next time. And before we start playing around with it, we're going to go to additional instructions. So this is that prompt-based kind of thing, right? So if you start to see it, you want to treat AI, and I've got a 5-year-old. I don't know if anybody has kids on the call, but think about AI as a 5-year-old that has infinite knowledge. Crazy, right? Or a teenager that you just handed keys to a Lamborghini to, right? Something stupid's probably going to happen both ways. Okay. So you want to constantly be training it on different things. Like give it examples. When you see it using something that you don't agree with, you got to train it and teach it what to do with it. And then it also has a dashboard of how many people have used bookings, that kind of stuff. So you can see how well it's working. So I'm going to go back to bot training. Cool. With the bot training, there's a couple of things that you can do here. I'm going to refresh it here. And I'm going to say, how are you doing today? I'm going to hit question mark. And then what it's going to do is it's going to respond back based upon how we've trained it. Okay. Then you can give it a thumbs down, a thumbs up. Thumbs up will mean it's going to use more responses like that. Thumbs down, you can actually train it. So if somebody says this, rewrite how you want it to respond and then save it to the knowledge base. Okay. So I'm just going to say, tell me your name, Josh Braden. Cool. So now it's created a contact record named Josh Braden that we're going to be working with, right? See, this is why we train it and talk with it, right? This is a booking bot that I created just a minute ago. But we're going to go with wjbraden@gmail.com. Cool. Should probably blur that out, huh? Right. So now it's asking my questions, right? What's your biggest health and performance goal right now? I want to level up. And the objective here is try to put yourself in the mind of your prospects. Everybody's been doing DMs, been reaching out to them. What you want to try to do is try to break the bot. The more you can train by breaking the bot, the less likely when you make it go live, it will break or say something silly, right? What's holding you back from reaching those goals? I am working too much. Cool. So a lot of this stuff, right, is coming from the knowledge base, is coming from AI in general. If that doesn't sound or feel like you can always change it. That way it updates in the future, right? How soon are you hoping to make a change? ASAP. Cool. All right. So it's giving me some options here. I'm going to book in. Let's go. Let's do 9:30 Friday. Cool. So technically what it would have done, it would have booked me in there. My workflow triggers to send the automations and everything else that we're sending it to. So this same, once it goes live, these same features, right, will show up so you can keep track of it over time. It will show up under the chats, right? It'll look just like this down here, okay? And you can actually train it, see if it's responded back to it, train it properly as you're going through the process. If suggestive is turned on, when I click down here, it'll pop up the suggestions right here. Okay. And you can just keep rolling with it. So you can, again, you can do text, WhatsApp, Instagram DMs, that kind of thing as we go through the process. The other features, just to kind of be aware of it, because the training happens the same way. There is a voice AI agent. Right now it takes inbound calls, and pretty soon they're going to be rolling out a way to do outbound calls. I'm pretty excited to give that a try, right? But you can teach it the same way, give it your voice and that kind of thing. But to kind of take away from this is understand what you want to use it for. Take the time to train it. Take the time to build the knowledge base. Take the time before it goes live to actually test it and train it to get rocking and rolling. Okay. Cool. So DM AI bots. Okay. We rolled out something that a lot of Fit Pros are currently using, but how to use it for DMs, right? And I'm just going to pull up one here. We got a ton of automations floating around. So there's a lot of workflows that cool. So we use this quite a bit. We get all of our sales from right now from DMs and targeting things, right? So I'm just going to show you this. So we make posts on different things for like macros. It's a big hot topic, but we use different words. But the current one that we're using is macros. So when you post something on Instagram, on your Facebook business page, and you get 20 to 30 responses, you can set it up where it will actually, if it gets a post or a comment happens on that post, what we've got it set up to do, and this is through the knowledge base to have that conversation. We wait 30 seconds just so it doesn't sound disingenuous. We have it respond back and rotate different comments so it doesn't look like we're just copying and pasting. Just a heads up on that. If you're using any type of autoresponder in a comment or DMs, try to rotate and make sure it's waiting for a response, or Meta will shut your account down, right? Because it'll realize that it's just a bot. But somebody DMs macros, will respond back as a comment underneath of that. Okay. Then we're going to wait. Excuse me. Then it's going to make sure that it came from a post or a Facebook. This is the way we've got it set up, just because we respond back differently on there, right? And I'm just going to go the Instagram route. So if somebody does the macros, we comment first. Then in their DMs, we say, hey, just saw you commented macro on our post. You're looking for a free macro guide, right? Because we don't want to get shut down by Meta by sending a whole bunch of messages to somebody, what we do is we wait for the reply, right? And no matter what that reply is, once that reply happens, we just make sure it's positive, and not completely negative. I don't know about you guys. Sometimes we have those people that fill something out and we reach out to them and they're like, hey, go F yourself, right? So if it's a negative thing, we don't do it, but as long as it's positive, we get it sent out. And that next message, it says, awesome. What's the best email to send your free macro guide to? Okay. That way we can capture their email. Once we capture their email, it gets put in there. Once it replies back with email, assuming that they responded back with an actual email, which will update it. So the field's not there. We send another message. Awesome. Cool. It's on the way. Everybody has issues with spam. There's ways to help not getting spam, but it inevitably is going to happen. So I always tell people to check it. Then we try to start the conversation to keep going. Have it automatically send the email so we don't have to worry about sending it. We're not lying to them. It automatically gets sent. We wait for a reply. Once that reply happens, because what our thought process is, they commented, we DM'd them, we're having a conversation, we sent them what we told them we'd send them to, we asked them a follow-up question. If they respond back to those questions, they are a hot lead, right? They are somebody that actually wants to have a conversation with you. At this point, we have a human take over with that conversation. We're actually getting ready to install that AI booking bot to see how that goes. But we use these automations to get them to the point of having a conversation. Too many people say macros, you send them a question and they never respond back. So we don't want to waste human time on that. We want to go from here. Okay. Cool. Another thing that we're going to go over, and this is something new to us. I just want you guys to be aware of it, the stuff that's coming out. and why the world is going to be changing as we know it, right? So there's systems like this coming out all over the place. Our favorite one is Fit Metrics. At Unstoppable 365, we're going to be rolling out Fit Metrics immediately, right? We're working on getting this sent out. But to give you an idea of how AI is going to affect online coaching businesses, and I'll send you guys out a link to check this out. But this thing integrates directly with Trainerize right now, right? And with Trainerize in the conversations, what it can do is it's set up with Telegram for communications, and I'll show you what that looks like. Get Telegram pulled up here, and then I'll get to your questions. Now it's running a little long. Yeah, it's a little crazy. While that's getting pulled up, you can take pictures, and it'll analyze the meal and actually create the macros, and then create on the client profile a option where they can automatically log their meal just from the picture and the AI that they're looking at. Okay. And I'm going to give you some examples of how I was using it, right? There we go. Cool. So I just took a picture of my food here, right? Just a basic picture, right? And it immediately analyzed it that it had grilled chicken, salad, corn, feta cheese, ranch and barbecue sauce dressing, gave me the estimated macros, and based upon my goals and my history, it gave me nutrition feedback on what that looks like. Then it says, if you ate that today, this is how much you have left based upon the goal that your coach provided you. Right? Everybody was like, hey, what should I eat now? I'll just take a picture of it and they'll tell you. Then it added it as a custom meal. So as a client, all I got to do is say log, and it logs the meal. Right? I started doing some crazy stuff with it just to see some. And another thing with trying to break it, right? Clearly, I'm not going to eat the whole thing of chicken, right? But I just wanted to see what it would say. And you know what? That's pretty darn close to what I just took a random picture of a bunch of chicken. There's another one. It's like, yep, that's going to be my meal. Apple, medium size. Canned fire roasted corn. Not a whole lot of nutritional value, right? But it, again, it was just completely crazy stuff just to test it out. Right? Works really, really well. What they also implemented is an AI assistant where you can teach it. So this is the client fulfillment. The other part was sales. This is fulfillment. You can teach it about your business, teach it how things work. So that way, when you ask it questions, right? It will pull from that data to understand what's happening, right? And I'm going to kind of blow through these. Just kind of want to be partial to your time. They have one for nutrition that you can, again, give it your flavor of what it looks like. And the way that works is I'm just going to pick somebody here that's probably, see if Jamie has, if he's logging anything. Yep, he's logging stuff. Cool. So he's logging stuff, and based upon what I've taught it, as a coach, I can just click generate AI recommendations, and based upon his goals, based upon his historical data, I can click apply these targets, and it'll immediately update his Trainerize based upon those goals, including his macros. Right? It's completely crazy stuff. This is that AI check-in that I told you about earlier. It just automatically pulls up their stuff, does birthday wishes. This is about to roll out AI workouts. They can literally say, I need to work out 3 days a week. Here's my workout history. This is the stuff that my injuries. This is the stuff that I like to do. And it'll create the workout custom to that human, right? And then this is a new feature that just rolled out. It is completely autonomous AI agent for fitness coaches. You can set it, turn it off, where only if they ask the bot, it'll respond. If you turn this on, every question they ask will immediately be responded back based upon how you want them to be coaches. Completely crazy. Even a compliance tracker, right? Let's say, for example, for weight, nutrition, workouts, if you're like, hey, if they miss their workouts last week, I want you to tell them about it. Say, hey, jump on, right? So these are the type of things that are coming out that as an online fitness coach, you just got to be aware of. You got to start getting ahead of the game and figuring out how you're going to use it, because other people are going to use it and they're going to start pulling ahead. For the people that don't, will start pulling ahead. Awesome. Cool. So those are some of the features that are floating around, all kinds of stuff that's available. I know there's a ton of questions in here, so we're going to get to those to help with that, right? So Oliver says, how have you noticed AI support bots impact client coach relationships and churn rates? Excellent question, right? Because the biggest thing of implementing AI is getting rid of the busy work. And a lot of the busy work is support. What we have seen with support bots, the ones that don't take the time to train it to act like you, because they signed up because of you, right? If you don't take that time and train them just like any other employee or virtual assistant, the rates plummet, right? However, if you take the time to train it, a lot of people are actually liking it because they get responses faster and they can ask more questions. I'll give you a really good example of a high profile client. One of our clients is Tommy Mello. He's literally a billionaire, and he created, using AI, a clone of himself. And he's like, hey, you can use my AI to talk to me for $1,000 an hour, or you can really talk to me for $40,000 an hour, right? He sells so much of the AI conversations because he took right now it's little over 1 million data points from podcasts, from videos, from stuff he's written to speeches. Like, it is literally him, right? He's like, you probably get better information from the bot because I took the time to train it than you would from me anyway, because it can pull from every data point that we have, right? So churn rates. We've implemented the AI coaching assistant with some of our clients. It's really helpful with the churn rates from that standpoint. We found a couple of clients we tested it with, we said, hey, this is just another coach. The other set, because we've done it with 10 people so far, so 5, we just said it's another coach. The other 5, we said, hey, this is our AI that we have trained to talk like us, sound like us, and coach like us. The 5 that we told it was just another coach, they absolutely hate it, because I think the expectation was human. The other people love it because they're literally asking questions all the time, and then their coach can chime in when needed. So we think it's going to really improve the churn rates from that standpoint. Does the AI bot always respond back immediately? Can you change? Oh yeah, you can definitely change the response rate to anything that you want. Minutes, hours, seconds, whatever you like there. How have you seen the inbound call booking bot impact show rates and the company compared to in person? So the actual phone call, the voice part of it, not good yet, to be honest with you, right? You can immediately tell that it's a bot 90% of the time. That's still a work in progress. However, the text, the DMs, it takes a little while for them to even realize that it's not a live person if you train it properly. Oh, this is an excellent question. So how does Meta feel about DM chatbots? They love and hate it all at the same time. Um, um, the chatbots that they don't like, right, are the ones that um, spam people. Just like if you have a setter, right? If a setter is copying and pasting, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, and they send out 20 DMs in 2 minutes, Meta gives you that little red dot of death saying, "Hey, you can't send out anymore," right? Um, you got to be careful when implementing the chat bots that you use them and think through exactly how Meta wants them to be used. That way, you don't get your account shut down. But you can use it to maximize what you do. That's why with ours that we typically like to set up is we want to get them to comment because Meta is like, yep, that's an interaction. Then we respond to the comment. Meta's like, cool, that's an public interaction. Then we send them the DM. They're like, you know what? You may not be friends, you may not be followers, but cool. Those 2 interactions were good. This one we're going to wait. So instead of waiting, say 20 seconds and then sending the next thing, and then 20 seconds and send the next thing, and then 20 seconds send the next thing, and all of a sudden they have 5 messages that they never responded back to, Meta does not like that. They want actual interaction. So we send it and wait. Then when they respond back, we send the next one. That's just the same way with a live person, right? If you're not having a conversation and you're just sending messages, it's never good. I was having issues with IG and the communication with the Kiss app. Did they get that bug fixed? Let's dive into that. So Tony, we will dive into that, or Jeff and Josh. Why I'm answering this next question. Can you guys look into Tony's app and see what's going on there? If not, we'll definitely get that fixed. You know what, Oliver? That is, I'm gonna put a laughing emoji on there because I've never thought about doing that. That's really smart. But yeah, you could have it web crawl the Meta's terms of service and policies to train it. Huh. You never know, right? Yeah, that's really smart. It's always the simple stuff. That's why it's keep it simple to make it happen. Awesome, guys. Tony, we're gonna look into that as well. So, kind of quickly recap this stuff. And if anybody has any other questions, throw it out there. If you want to unmute, you can also ask questions there if you're not sure what to type. Some big takeaways from this. Awesome. Thanks, Oliver. Is make sure you understand what AI actually is capable of. Choose the right tools for what you currently have, right? Make sure your team's actually going to use the tools. So many people sign up for things, us included. I get pretty excited about some stuff, and the team looks at it and like, don't really need it, right? So make sure you find one that does integrations, customizations, super user friendly, has support in a community that will help, right? And the impact on your online fitness business, coaching business. If you don't take advantage of this, right? Major shifts, you're going to 10x your efficiency. You're going to get hyper personalized at scale. You can duplicate yourself pretty quickly and easily. It's going to help with the client experience. And the most important thing, if you don't take advantage of using AI and learning it now, the competition is going to start pulling away pretty quickly and people are going to start to notice. Awesome. Tim, Alicia, Kevin, thanks for hopping on here. Well, I appreciate all of you. That concludes our intensive. We'll send out the recording and we'll kind of go from there.